Okay, now let's start part 3. I almost get the outline done. So, because this sculpture, one leg is front. So in this position, when you're standing, it's not stable. So I take out this part, ready, cut. So I need to fix a little bit more. So when I standing on my boat, so I have this piece to standing back side like this to support me. Otherwise, it's easy to fall down. Because this sculpture have the metal stand. So when you're doing this side, it's not balanced. So in this position, it's not balanced. So you want to stand in front of you, so you can do easier job. So you can bring a piece of clay stuck back side to standing. All right. So now I'm going to show you how to hollow out from inside. Usually, I will cut 3 parts. From here, cut 1, and then I was thinking I will cut the head here. So from here, after I cut, I will hollow out from top, and from here, this part I will hollow out from here. Okay, now I'm going to hollow out the clay from inside. I will using this wire cutter. Like I have show you where to cut off. So, sorry, I start from the head first. So I cut this. Then I bring this here, and now I cut here. Okay, now it's 3 parts. All right. So I make the mark, draw the mark where I want to dig out. So all sides should be evenly. I think 1 centimeter will do. And you don't want to cut too thick, and you don't want to cut. You don't need leave too thick. You don't want to leave too thin. Okay. So too thick, if you were firing, you will have a trouble. Not easy to dry. If it's too thin, because I haven't finished, so I might have to fix a little bit. The surface, some clay I might need to take out. So if you leave too thin, you will take that. It might you might rupture. You might ruin the piece. Okay. And put here. So this one also you leave the thickness about 1 centimeter. So whole side evenly. So you have to choose the tool, this tool, and get the right size. So you just dig out like this way. Suppose you're thinking This tooth is too small, so you can change the bigger one. So I try the bigger one, and it will be faster. Okay, it's almost up to the bottom side, so you don't want to go more further. So now you have to do dig out more clay from the leg part, from the leg, this part. Always check and feel. And this side too. Alright, I want to be very careful, and I also worry I draw too thin, but because this leg is not too thick, so now I will using the hole puncher. So now I will using the copper pie hole puncher, and that it run through. Push out. Oh, this is very, so you can see this is very thick. So I would like to check here. So I will take more clay from inside out, from here. In the mix all the wood same thickness. Okay, I almost take out the clay from inside. Okay, then before we check whether it's evenly the thickness, the principle of the take out the clay, hollow out. The principle is all the way through the thickness should be evenly. 1 centimeter is the best. And did you see I have some dots inside? Yes. When we firing the, why we need to put a dot? When we firing the clay, because it will be expansion. So we put a dot like this way to stop, to avoid any cracking. This is a very, very important process. Okay, just to put the dot evenly, and this is tool with a curve. It's a very good tool. You can go inside and dig. So I think you understand why you should using a curly tool, okay? Not very pointing, all right? And look at the body side. I did the same way too, all right? And from the head side, I did the same way. You see? The neck is very narrow, so usually I don't use this tool to dig out. I straight using the copper pie hole puncher. From here, I punch all the way through, okay? You can see it's all the way through, all right? So make sure nothing stuck there, so the air can flow. And before I have shown you the leg side, we punch from here and run through. And now I want to seal the hole. It's just for good looking, okay? And you already, when we punch a hole, we already sure what thickness we are, all right? So this one I check again. Yeah, good. So just make sure I still just for good looking, because later we have to make a stand from the bottom side. It will be the hole. So here, then we don't need a hole. Okay. All right, for next step, I want to join the 3-part back together. So first thing, I want to scratch the surface, that it can grab the 2 part nicely and can grab the clay, okay? And this part, same, we scratch. All right. Then we're using the sleeve and paintbrush. Make it wet. Then I already made the quail and give it a push. And join together. Little water and join back where you cut off. And when you join, you have to be careful. You have to twist around. Oh, this shape is out of shape, so I change it back. So this clay is a little bit soft. So when you do, you better wait for the clay a little bit dry, then it won't change the shape. So we twist around, twisting just for push out the bubble. All right, then we from center the clay a little bit more, so we push it back from center, so it will stick nicely. That side too. So when you hollow out, just wet, semi-dry. You don't want to be too dry. You don't want to be too wet. Too wet will be too soft. It will be very easy to change the shape. And too dry, it will be too hard to dig a hole. So you don't want to be, when you dig the hollow out, the clay, so you don't want to be too wet or too dry. All right? So same way, I do the head part, same. push a little bit. Why I don't want to do too much detail before I hollow out? Because when you try to hollow out, if you do too much detail, then you have to fix back. So I better do earlier. You have to spend a lot of time to fix. So that's why before I do the detail, I will hollow out and give your sculpture lighter also. Okay, now let's start the face part of the sculpture. I'm going to show you the the face proportion. You can see this. All right. So the forehead to the eyebrow and to the end of the nose and to the chin. Got each part will be the 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. So from the eyebrow to the chin, you can divide 2 parts. In this way, you can see very, very clear proportion. All right. So I will send you this image and other reference for you to start with. For the face, you can choose any image you like to learn, or you can using your family as the model, or you can sculpture yourself. All right, so I found this interesting one, so I like to do this sculpture. Okay, now let's start. You understand about a woman's face proportion, so I will divide 3 parts. Then using the tool to draw the line from the forehead to the eyebrow and to the nose. So I just sketch. All right. Usually, I will start from the nose first. So before you stick anything, before you stick anything, start from the spray some water. It will stick nicely. But when you do the face, you have to make sure both side face are even. Then you can do the right. Then you can start with right sculpture. Won't be like one face too big, one face too small. With the Westerner, the nose is taller, and the Asian, the face is more flat. You follow the principle, it will be easier for you to do the sculpture. And you know, from the end of the nose to the lip, the downside lip, and the chin will be the halfway. So I place first. And here will be the eyebrow. So make sure with the eyes. All right, then we start now. First, I did the left side first. Then you understand how I'm doing. So get a right figure out first, then we do the detail. Okay, I get the figure out roughly. So now, next step, we start refine and do the detail. Okay, now I'm just going to show you how to do the detail of the face part. So I have done the right side of the face first. Then you can understand easily what I'm talking about. So when you do the left side, you should be the balance with the right face side, like a chin, eyes level, lip, and nose should be evenly. So usually when you do the sculpture, when I do the sculpture, I usually do half. In this way, I will easy for me to make a balance. But that thing depend on your habit. Okay. So I can see the eyes and the labels are different, so I had to fix it first. See the tool? It's a little bit curved. It's very good for doing this part of the sculpture. And the forest is levels are different, so I had to add more clay first, then I can do easy. I haven't done this for 2 days, so the surface a little bit dry. I usually spray some water that will help stick the clay nicely. See the chin side. So just make your left side even with the muscle, with the right face side even. Then you can do detail easy and balance. So now I have built out the muscle on the left face side evenly, so then I can start the detail. Just copy the right side, same. Then you little bit, and pay your attention and patience. You will get there. This thing just need a time to practice. There's no shortcut. The tip is just you observe very careful, clearly, and with your patience and with your love. Then you can do a nicer job. Because I put my camera just in front of the sculpture. So when I'm doing this, because my hands are not easy to work in on the sculpture, so you just do with your patience and observe nicely and do evenly, and you will get there. So I will show you after I finish. Then I show you how to make the hair. Okay, now I have done my left face side. So it's a time for burnishing. So please using the marble tool, okay? Or anything smooth so you can burnish it. Some students ask me what's my definition of the final finishing. So the final finishing is the way that finally the result you respect. But I like to for me the definition of the final finishing is you complete your artwork. Depend on what the result you want. Like this one, I want very fine burnishing and good detail and smooth the skin and the surface very smooth. If not smooth, for me it's just not like a finish. But actually, that's depend on what the result you respect. Okay. So by the time you also check where is not balanced. So you can just fix it. So this side tie, you really need a patient, okay, and calm down yourself. Right? Take your time to do the burnishing smooth. Make the surface clean and smooth. That is side. So I haven't totally complete. So now I just show you how I did. See, can you see the shining? So it's a burnishing. So each angle you have done. Okay? Okay. So I will leave on you how to do it. Okay? Next step, I'm going to show you how to make a hair texture. Okay, now the last step, I'm going to show you how to carve in the hair. So when you carve in the hair, usually I use this tool or any this tool. You make a bamboo tool. First, you can just like how you are brushing your hair and make sure how your hair is curly or straight and where to go. So this sculpture have little bit follow the Earth's gravity. So the hair come this way. So you have to follow the direction and it will go very natural. Okay, then you draw the line where you go. Then I will using this tool to carve in. Now I do roughly because this film is quite long, so okay. Now you can use this harder brush and brush the rubbish out. So until the hair come very natural. So I think this one I need to fix a little bit. Okay, then I brush out the rubbish. You might have to do several times. And by the time you use water to wash it, make it nice and smooth. And you can repeat this way. Repeat many times, okay, until you are satisfied and with the hair. All right. Okay. Finally, I have to complete the sculpture. Then the last step, you have to do the burnishing. But you can have like my body side, I make it shiny and smooth. So this side, I wash it with the sponge, so I give it the smooth and rough contrast, so you can design yourself. So then you double check when you have to do more fine detail and do it. And here I punch a hole for the metal stand. So I hope everybody practice and learn well and enjoy. Thank you.